Hey everybody, I'm back today with a short video. I'm going to try to do these on Mondays. Uh, a solo video. Most of my stuff has been in collaboration with other BC members, but just to stay more active and put in some short videos, I'm going to come up with what I call Mount Rushmore Monday. So each Monday, I'll pick a category and name my top four uh, applicable responses to whatever the category is. Mount Rushmore, for those not familiar, live outside the United States, is a monument in South Dakota in the Great Plains or wherever the northern part of the country, close to Canada. In South Dakota, Mount Rushmore highlights the four presidents who are considered maybe the greatest in U.S. history: Washington, Jefferson, Lincoln, and Roosevelt. So symbolically, the tag Mount Rushmore is the best of the best. So today the category is Beatles albums. What are my Mount Rushmore of Beatle albums? So I'm going to start with my favorite Beatle album, since it's a personal list, and that's Rubber Soul, 1965. Kind of folky, making that transition from the mop top Fab Four to the more what would become the psychedelic or hippie Beatles. You can see the haircuts here; they're a little bit whacked out on some weed, maybe some LSD. But this has to be in my Mount Rushmore. Drive My Car, Norwegian Wood, Nowhere Man, great song. I like Sing for Yourself, the George Harrison tune. What Goes On, Girl, great song. I'm Looking Through You, fantastic. In My Life, epic. Wait, If I Needed Someone, Run for Your Life. So this is going to be on the first rock of the Mount Rushmore monument for the Beatles albums. Next up is Abbey Road. Got to have Abbey Road. They're really 1969 all-time classic with Here Come Together leading off the track. You got Something, another classic A side single. What else? Here Comes the Sun, George Harrison, arguably his best tune as a Beatle. And then the McCartney mishmash of side B here, which is just genius in a way where it melds together these little snippets of different rhythms and different melodies, and it just flows together beautifully. So not upset about that. If you don't have Abbey Road in your Mount Rushmore, you're lacking either blood supply to the brain or I don't want to get personal, but it's got to be on the list. Anyway, next up, the third spot is occupied by Revolver, uh, landmark, with the Indian music and so forth and so on. Leading off with Taxman, Eleanor Rigby, which is an absolutely gorgeous song. I'm Only Sleeping's on here. Yellow Submarine's on here. Here, There, and Everywhere, people's wedding song, just a lovely sentiment. She Said, classic. Good Day Sunshine, power pop stuff. And Your Bird Can Sing, another favorite of mine. For No One, underrated Paul song. The only song I really don't like on here is Dr. Robert, but I'm not going to quibble with that. It's still getting on Mount Rushmore as one of the four great Beatle albums. The last spot to occupy the Beatles Mount Rushmore is going to be really difficult because you could go a number of ways. You could go with the White Album, you could go with Help, you could go with Please Please Me, Magical Mystery Tour, so forth and so on. Or you could state the obvious, and that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to go with Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, just because it's so iconic. The cover itself demands to be accepted and praised. But it has a place in history. The Summer of Love, it just kicked off that whole. Look at the cover right there with the outfits and the icons behind them. It just meant so much to music in 1967. It has A Day in the Life on it, which is a one of a kind song, of course. Some of the other classics on here that I love When I'm 64. I know a lot of people razz it for being too hokey and stuff, but when you get to be 64 years old, that song has more meaning for you. The title track's great with a little help from my friends, of course. Getting Better, uh, lovely Rita, just all the way through. And you can't ignore the final track. It's arguably their best song, A Day in the Life, where you got John and Paul combining for this one of a kind tune. So that's thanks a lot for watching the first installment of Mount Rushmore Monday. I'm going to try and stay consistent with this. The topics won't always be music related. Most of the time they will be, but I'm going to stick some movie stuff in there as well to be consistent with my channel. Maybe the odd sports Mount Rushmore or food just to keep it fun and different. So be on the lookout for those. Just a short snippet, solo videos, trying to get into some different avenues to present content. So give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this content. Leave some comments. Give me your own Beatles Mount Rushmore. And I appreciate everybody watching. Thanks again. Take care, and we will see you soon.